The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day. Welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Proulx, and thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming, and in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining Gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. If it's about achievements, we'll unlock it. You can find show notes for this show, as well as previous shows, on our website, z2z.com. This is episode 108. You can also contact us with questions and comments on Twitter, at Z2Z, over at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or email us directly at contact@z2z.com. So we are freamless this week, but returning is Randy. Randy, you've been missing for a few weeks. Obviously, you've gone to the land of the North and back. How was that?
It was very good. I had a good time. We played some very intense games of Risk, and alliances were crushed, friendships were ruined. Not really. We always have a good time playing Risk.
I've never actually played Risk. Isn't it super long?
It's intense. No. So we played with 6 people, which makes it pretty long, and it only took us 4 hours. So I mean, it's not short, but it's not horrifically long or anything. I mean, you dedicate an evening to playing a full game of Risk. But
did you win? No,
I don't think I've ever won a game of Risk. Actually, I was in a bad situation. I was sandwiched in between my opponents. So it came down to the 3 people that were left at the end, which were the same 3 people that were left at the end last time we played Risk. I had Europe and Africa. My one friend had Asia and Australia, and my other friend had North America and South America. So you can see the problem here where I'm sandwiched in between 2 people that have very easy access to attack me and not very easy access to attack each other. So I was the one that was attacked first, so I lost. But we did have an entire round of turns with no attacking, because nobody wanted to do the first attack. I've never seen that happen before. It was crazy. And I also have a friend that always mixes it up. He role plays as an orc when he plays Risk. So you never know what he's going to do. You never know.
Like an orc living on Earth.
Yes. Like he plays Risk as if he were commanding an orc commanding an army of orcs. He doesn't work with anybody. He doesn't care about what territory he takes, only about killing everything. So when we're playing, we're always like, okay, we'll reinforce here and here. We're like, oh, there's orcs there. We better put some more guys there.
He should bring his own little orc guys instead of the.
We do have our own, or his own orc army, because it started before, only one of my friends had Risk, and it was Lord of the Rings Risk. So there are elf armies and there are orc armies, and that's where it started. He was one of the orc armies, and then we got normal Risk. That's like the normal map. That's not Middle Earth, and we just always bring along the orc army so he can be the orcs.
That's awesome.
And then we did contemplate. So we were going to have more than 6 people. We'd planned on having 8 or 9 people. So we were gonna mix it up, and we were gonna play with Earth and Middle Earth, but that didn't end up happening. It would have been pretty crazy. What is the maximum number of people you can have playing Risk? 6.
Oh,
we played with 7 before. We just brought an extra army. It worked okay, but with 7, it kind of got a little like you didn't really have enough territory, and a couple people got wiped out right away. And it didn't work so great, so that's why we were going to add Middle Earth to add more people, but still have everything.
I was going to say
connected.
That would suck. Like if you're playing for 4 hours and you get knocked out in 45 minutes, man, that would be. You just kind of have to sit there and watch, I guess. I mean,
it's pretty good to spectate as well.
Oh, interesting.
It's a fun time.
Interesting.
Highly recommend it.
So good trip back home.
It was a good trip.
Good Christmas, all that sort of
stuff. it wouldn't be a trip back to Canada if something didn't happen with my flights.
Of course.
So this time it's Air Canada. And Air Canada, I'm not going to call you out yet because you still haven't responded to my email request. If you fulfill my request, I can probably forgive you. But I don't think that's going to happen because Air Canada is an airline, and we all know what airlines do.
Oh yes,
they can do whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, whenever they want. They don't care. So I wake up at 4:30 in the morning on the day I'm supposed to go home, which was not super fun. And I look at my phone, and your flight has been canceled, not delayed, just straight up canceled.
Oof.
So I call them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we can reschedule you for a flight that leaves at 8 p.m. tomorrow."
Nice.
That leaves at 8 p.m. tomorrow. This is 4:30 a.m. when I'm calling them. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then I asked them why they canceled the flight. It's because they didn't have enough staff to staff the flight.
Oh.
It's not mechanical difficulties. It's like you had too many flights and not enough people. Just probably because you wanted to sell them at New Year's rates. They're just like, whatever, we'll just cancel one and you can get rescheduled whenever, because, what consequence is that to Air Canada?
Yeah.
None. Zero. And on top of that, I had business class tickets. They downgraded me for half of my flight.
Did they give you money back or anything?
No.
Nice.
No, they did not.
Because airlines, yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, but don't worry. They're going to reimburse me the difference in my tickets I bought 2 months ago versus the tickets that were on the flight leaving in 24 hours, because there's going to be a difference there, right?
Yeah.
Because that's a fair comparison and pricing. So my request was I just wanted them to refund my tickets and get me home. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see.
Yeah, good luck to you.
I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. I have the same exact experience as you. Every time I fly, there's some sort of silly nonsense that happens, and there's not much you can do about it, unfortunately.
And it's never a little delay. It's always like 12 hours.
Yeah.
24 hours. And last time I flew back, it was also in the winter. Same thing. 24 hours. 24-hour delay is ridiculous to me.
Especially in the holidays, man. Like that,
whatever.
That could be rough.
And the other one wasn't even like busy time. It was like later in January, like, I don't know, around this time.
Yeah.
It's like, no. 24-hour delay.
Well, you made it there and back again. So, welcome back.
I did. A little late, but I did.
And you brought a friend with you, right?
I did.
Who do we have joining us tonight?
He's been here before.
Yes, of course. We have Joe joining us.
Joe.
What's going on, guys?
Do you have any exciting holiday adventures that happened? Or did you stick around close to home?
No, I just stayed home. I'm in Connecticut. Everything's like 10 minutes away from each other, so...
Oh, yeah. You're probably pretty chilly right now, though, huh?
Yeah, it's exceptionally cold today.
Yeah. It's been a pretty rough week or two, huh?
It's supposed to be -10 tomorrow morning.
Oof.
Ooh.
No, thanks.
Yeah, it was getting pretty close to zero here when I was out shoveling today. I usually don't get cold when I'm shoveling, but today was like I had to come in. It was just too cold.
I think I read the wind chill tomorrow was supposed to be -19. None pleased about that at all.
Just stay inside.
Yep, that's a stay inside all day. It's funny because we don't get that cold of temperatures down here from what I'm used to back up in New York, where I grew up, and this place has kind of made me a little soft, and we were getting like 35-degree weather, 30-degree weather, and I'm like, man, it's chilly. And we hit, I think, 15 to 20 or something today, and I'm like, ooh, I do not miss this at all. It is very unpleasant. And we're not even, close to some of these Minnesota people. Man, no way. No thanks.
Yeah, it was actually colder in Canada than it has been around here. I think it's getting a little colder here now. But I was just in New York City for work actually today and yesterday, and the wind there was unreal. Like the temperature wasn't that cold. I mean, it was cold, but it wasn't super, super crazy cold. But it felt so cold there because of the wind. And it was just like the skyscrapers are just like a wind tunnel or something. Like it was just like, it just hit you straight in the face. There was kind of a little bit of like powdered snow and just come bam, just right in the face. It was miserable. So I was out walking around last night and I just couldn't do it. After a while, I wanted to kind of walk around some more, but it's like, man, it's too cold. Way too cold.
Fortunately, here it's supposed to get back up to like 50 next week. So we're going to hit a bit of weather whiplash, I think. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about, guys. Let's talk about some games. And we
don't talk about those.
We do occasionally. Well, we talked about Risk. Risk is a game.
That's true. Risk is a game.
So,
I also played Sports League while I was there.
Oh, did you? Did you introduce your friends to it?
Yeah, a few of them actually played it for the first time. One of my friends played his first game ever with another one of my friends that was quite good, much better than me. And they were playing an online game, and they went into 21 minutes of overtime.
Wow.
It was insane. And it was so close too. So the other team was like the same. They had one good guy in goal and then one clearly new guy trying to score. So it was the two good guys in goal and then the two new guys trying to score. And like there would be these shots that were so close. They'd go like half in or be like just bounce off the net or something like 4 or 5 times before one finally went in and my friends won.
Oh yeah.
So there was a lot of yelling. There was a lot of yelling.
Rocket League will do that to you. That's for sure.
It was a good time.
So much fun. So much fun. So why don't you go ahead then, Randy? Tell us what you've been playing while you've been gone, and if any other highlights, any other wins or anything like that.
I do actually. I've had a pretty good go while I was away. I finished Cuphead.
Oh, completed it like 100%?
Completed 100%. Finished it on expert. The Devil was quite difficult on expert. Much harder than I was anticipating.
So do you want to modify your previously? No. Okay. So still the same.
It still only took me 3 hours to beat him.
Okay.
So on easy, it took me 1 hour. On hard, it took me 3 hours. Not crazy by any means, but, challenging. It's not something you're going to get on the first try, that's for sure. And I did also have the opportunity to play it in co-op.
Oh, okay, cool.
A couple of times. I played it with two of my friends, and so we actually made it through about half the game in co-op in an hour. The enemies have more than twice as much health, but because you have two people, you can do a lot of damage. And even though he was, he had never played Cuphead before, and then this is after I'd finished the game, we were playing it. We beat most of the bosses first try because even though they have twice as much health, the fact that you can revive your teammate at no cost, no cost other than risking getting over to your teammate to revive them before they, float off the screen, makes it a lot easier. Because you're saying that would mean I was doing most of the damage, but even if I messed up and died, he could still usually revive me. And I could keep, and I was good enough at maneuvering around the screen that pretty much no matter where he died, I could revive him every time. And so the way reviving works is your ghost floats off the screen, and each time you revive, it moves faster when you die, so it's harder to revive. But like when I knew he was dying, I would just run over, be ready to hit him, and bring him back. So like there were times where I'd revive him 4 or 5 times in a boss fight, which is just 4 or 5 more hits you can take while you're fighting that boss. So it definitely is easier in co-op. Achievements also pop in co-op, like that the host has progress on. So like if I brought somebody in a co-op game that had never played Cuphead and we went and beat the devil, they would probably get the achievement for beating the game.
Oh, well, maybe sometime we can test that. And
yeah,
nice.
I mean, you can skip things, but I don't think you're going to get all the A ranks. So you would still have to do everything, but I mean, you could get some freebies, I think.
Do you think it's harder? So you think the challenge of the game is overall easier, but would it be harder to get those sort of high rankings? Like would both players have to play pretty well in order to do that?
Yes, in co-op, the A ranks I think are harder.
Okay.
But in terms of just beating the game, it is easier. Beating the game on expert would be a lot easier in co-op because you don't have to A rank anything. So you can go back on normal and A rank everything, and then go on hard and beat the game, and it would be easier in co-op. I think. I don't know for sure, but I suspect it would be if both people playing are decent at the game. I think it would be easier. But yeah, really. I enjoyed it all the way through. It was a great game. The plane levels are very hard on expert. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I just had a really hard time with some of them, but they're not impossible. They're probably still easier than the devil, but they were the most frustrating of all of them. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Cuphead 2 if it ever comes out.
Oh, it will. I think it's slated for release in 2029. So just wait till then and you'll get it.
Right.
I
did.
Is that local only?
It is local only.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, it works great. The I thought the screen might get too busy with two people, but it's fine. So yeah, it was. I'm glad I got to try that because it ended up being pretty fun. I got some Windows Phone in, which is, it's Windows Phone. I started and completed Monster Fish, Doodle God Blitz, and Gerbil Physics.
Ugh.
And then I went over and, Gerbil Physics was
stupid.
It was okay. I think it had a very low time rating, but I think that was back kind of from when there were videos available. So it took me much longer than that to complete the game because it was all on my own. It's doable. It's not very hard, but it got old pretty quick. And then I loaded up Doodle God Blitz on Windows 8 for those freebies. And the other one, completed Agents of Fun.
Oh,
done.
Wow, you did both of them. Nice.
I did. It's a real grind at the end. Getting all the crystals is a pain. The leveling everybody up to level 20 is a pain. In the stupid rec room horde kind of wave challenges is a pain, but I mean it was still mostly fun. I'd still play an Agents of Mayhem 2 if it came out. I'd give it a shot.
Okay, so your series completion is no longer threatened.
Correct, unless the 360 servers go offline, which that would be a whole other problem.
Well, yeah,
but currently the Saints Row series is still on track to be completed.
So Cuphead is the better win of those two, I assume.
Yeah, Cuphead took a lot more. Agents of Fun took a lot more time. Cuphead took a lot more skill.
Okay.
So, and I spent a good chunk of time still just playing Cuphead after the fact, like even after finishing all the achievements. I just because I had people over and we tried it out in co-op and played it and they wanted to see it, and it's a fantastic game. I would recommend it to pretty much anybody.
Awesome. Is that it? Anything else?
Yeah, that's it for what I played this week.
Well, fantastic. Well, we'll throw it over to our guest, Joe. I know you play a little bit differently than we do, but anything exciting happened in your gaming this week? Get anything super awesome done?
No, not really. I'm just playing all those Windows 10 Neo Geo games again.
Oh man, that sounds like a blast.
I bought all of them the other day. I've only played Neo Turf Masters and World Heroes, and maybe one more. I think
World Heroes is nice and easy, though.
Yeah, that one was cake.
I hear they play a little bit better on PC than they do on the Xbox. Is that the case?
It seems so, yeah. They're a little less sluggish and slow.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hope so. My PC's kind of expensive, so...
Well, my Xbox should be more than enough to handle its stupid ACA games, but it doesn't seem to be the case.
Apparently not.
So did you play them all, or did you just buy them all?
I bought them all. I've played 3 of them. I've only finished World Heroes so far.
Okay.
I played Winx Club this week. Did you guys play that yet?
Oh, how is that? No, I was looking at it. It looks right up my alley.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's you would love it. It's clunky. It has the same 3 songs in it.
Oh, that the same 3 songs. That is like a staple of a terrible game.
What kind of a game is it?
I think it's based off some like little girls television show or something like that. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, Winx Club was a show. I remember that came on some channel I used to watch ages ago.
I remember seeing people talk about it. Okay. So did you get it done?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It was about 3-ish hours long, I would say, with like all the video guides and stuff.
And did you have to buy any microtransactions or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So how long would it take without the microtransactions then?
Well, you need 2,000 gems or gems in the game to unlock a certain character to open one door in the game. And I think when I beat the game, I ended up with like less than 500.
Oh man.
So probably like 10-hour game if you don't spend any money on it.
10 to 15 maybe, I would say. I mean, I'm sure you could do it quicker, but like I'm obviously going around and trying to find all the like collectibles and stuff to get it done as fast as possible. But the 2,000 gems to buy the character was only like $2, so
Oh, that's not bad.
no, I'll pay $2 to save myself like 13 hours.
I still wouldn't do it out of protest, but that still sounds like it's worth playing. I'll probably $10 seems a bit steep.
Most definitely.
But yeah, if somebody wants to lend it to me, or if it goes on sale for $5, I'll probably grab it.
And this is on Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I think it's a mobile port though.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It most definitely feels like it.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, because I think it was Chin that said when you're tapping A to go through the dialogue, your character jumps.
Oh, really? That's funny. That's cool.
because it's supposed to be on a touchscreen where there's like 2 different things, but they just put them on the same button.
Yeah, there's only like 2 button commands in the whole game. I think it's just like A and X, and you like X is to attack, but you can only like attack when there's an enemy on the screen, or there's little traps on the floor, and you can attack the traps on the floor to like make them go away. But you can't just like shoot like a little like beam of whatever it is, like magic, I guess.
Like you can't do it anytime. You can only do it when there's something on the screen.
Yeah, you can only do it when something not good is in the vicinity of you.
That's really strange. That sounds like unnecessarily complicated to design. Like you just put it in the game. It's like can only shoot beam when thing is within X range of you.
The jumping was extra clunky too, because sometimes you have to like jump from platform to platform. It's kind of open world a little bit, but in order to make some of the jumps, you kind of have to like run off the edge of it and then jump when your character isn't on it to make it to the next platform.
It sounds like another key feature of a fantastic, terrible game. Platforming that doesn't work.
Oh, what is the name of this game? I remember.
Winx Club.
Winx Club. Okay, I've got to look this up.
Winx. WINX.
Oh, Winx.
Yeah, Winx.
Okay, gotcha. I wanted to see if it was based off of a special Earth girl with magical powers, who travels to the Althea School for Fairies to perfect her skills. That's very nice. Okay, yeah, interesting. Did you play anything else besides ACA and Winx Club?
Need for Speed Payback.
Oh, how's that?
I'm actually enjoying it. If you could get it for like $30, I would say it's most definitely worth it. Kind of seems like a lower tier quality like Forza Horizon. Like it has like all the like collectibles and like you got to smash the billboards and stuff. So it seems kind of like a carbon copy of less quality of Horizon. But I'm liking it. Like it's fun.
Cool.
It's got more story to it than like a Forza Horizon game would.
So it sounds like you had at least a little bit of fun in between the nonsense.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All right, I have been playing a few games as well. Let's see here. I've been working on the random to-do list stuff this week. So I'm just going to run through these games real quick. I'm not even going to talk about most of them. I played Adara for 2 seconds. Played Tony Hawk Project 8, which reminds me of the slow death that Tony Hawk games went through. That's a very sad game. Don't play it if you can avoid it. I had to play Gears 3 and Orange Box and GTA. And I've been working on a couple of other things for Random To-Do List. I also had to play Fable pub games, and that game, man, I didn't even know what I was doing. I just followed the guide and I was just rolling dice, and sometimes winning and most of the time not, and I got the achievement. I don't know. That game is weird to me.
Is that the XBLA one or the Windows Phone
It's
one?
the XBLA one, yeah. It was for Fable 2, I think. That's when it came out.
Yeah, that was like a pre-release for Fable 2, and you got to like carry your money
and
over.
Exactly. And it's so funny too, because I just started a new character because whatever, I didn't care. And I just kept borrowing money from the bank, and they're like, hey, if you get too much in debt, it'll affect your Fable 2 game. And I'm like, oh no, I'm so worried. But it was fun. It was
Or you could just, delete your pub game save.
And I've been working on the Salmon Max games. I beat one of them, and I'm working on the other one. It's interesting. I was reading a little bit about it. It seems like they were supposed to come out with 5 episodes, and they only came out with 2, because the 5 episodes did come out on PC, from what I understand, but only 2 of them came out on the Xbox. And I don't know why. I don't know why that's the case. In any case, these are the final unique games that I haven't played from Telltale. So, except for the ones,
except Wallace and Gromit.
Except for Wallace and Gromit, which we'll see.
You're gonna have to come visit Warren.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to visit somebody because I really do. I'm itching for it. These ones are interesting. They're way better than most of the early Telltale stuff because I think the charm and the humor works a lot in their favor, although I don't think they're as funny as they try to be. So sometimes it's more cringeworthy than funny, but it's generally pretty clever writing, and the movement and stuff is clunky, but it's not so terrible. It's not so bad. But
and those are kind of forgivable because that's when Telltale was a lot smaller, and they're very old.
Yes, very old.
So
and they're smaller games in general. So yeah, totally. One real big saving grace for me is that you can skip essentially all of the dialogue, which makes it much quicker. So if you're just trying to rush through those games, you can do it. So, but my one of the week was unfortunately /fortunately we it's a new year, and we started boosting Master Chief Collection on our Halo Tuesday nights, Tuesdays here in the community, and it was a boost that I was a little bit dreading because it's such a massive game and the achievements are so varied, and it was just a lot to take on. But we got a group together and we split into some teams, and we just started with whatever, just pick something and go, because that's probably as good a way to do this as any. And for my random to-do list, I had to get all of the legendary playthroughs done for all 4 games. Unfortunately, I had done all of the games up until the last level of Halo 4. So I'm like, okay, well, I've got a group of people here, and I'm the one that's leading it. So I'm like, all right, we'll start at the last level of Halo 4 and then loop back around. So I got that done. We got that done, and I got like 5 achievements for beating all the campaigns on these different difficulty levels for like oodles and oodles of TA. It was really nice. It was a good chunk of Gamerscore and TA in Master Chief Collection. And that's just the first step into the larger world of Master Chief Collection. This will be a boost we'll be doing for a very long time. So good luck to everybody involved. And really, there's no limit to how many people we can have, because we can just keep dividing the teams or the groups up. So if anybody's interested and they want to start right on the ground floor, you're more than welcome to join. We play on Tuesday evenings, so come on in and join. Okay, guys. Well, that was fun talking about what we've been playing. But let's move on, and we'll talk about some of the news that we have to cover here. Do you guys play with your Kinects at all?
Nope, mine's still in the wrap.
In the wrap?
Nope.
Wow. Yep. Okay. Well, okay. So neither of you obviously have to worry about this, but it's been.
I did see what was going on though.
Yeah.
Have you seen the prices on Amazon?
What was it? What was the highest price you've seen?
Well, the lowest price I've seen is about $300.
That almost makes me want to sell mine. So
I mean, I don't know if anybody's buying it for $300.
I got it for free though, man. Like that's $300 for me. Anyways, so we should actually say what's going on. The Microsoft has decided to cease production on the Xbox One Kinect adapters. So if ceasing production on the Kinect itself was not the death of Kinect, this certainly is, right?
Oh, absolutely. No question.
And nobody should pay $300, by the way, for these adapters. If you're really... trust me, these adapters are the worst things on the face of the earth. My God, they're so yeah. I can't even say it. I'm so upset. They're so clunky and cumbersome and awkward and the worst. I hate these adapters. And apparently...
Is it like the adapter for the 360 Kinect, for the old 360s, where it was like a power plug that you plug in, and you plug the Kinect into the thing, and then you plug the USB into the Xbox?
So yeah, there's... I don't know because I didn't have that adapter, but you have a brick, essentially, and then two coming out the bottom and one coming out the top. But it's like... It's just offset and weird and like way too big. All the wires are way too long than they need to be. It's just the worst. Anyways, nobody needs to pay $300 for this. Apparently, there is a way to kind of make your own. I don't know how hard it is or difficult. I haven't done it, but if people are really getting that desperate, I think it's not that expensive to get the pieces required. And apparently and allegedly what I hear is it's not too hard to homebrew this for yourself.
Much cheaper than $300, that's for sure.
Much.
You could buy a pre-owned like large console in the Kinect for less than that. I don't even see the point.
Yeah, I guess you. Yeah, you could probably just buy a.
You could buy like two Xbox Ones.
Just buy one of the original Xbox Ones, right? And then you'd be fine. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they even ever made it. If they were including it with every system originally, I don't even know why they didn't just make it USB. It's kind of crazy, but. Anyways, that's not...
Well, the power is the issue, I think.
Yeah, but you wouldn't need...
USB doesn't draw enough power to run it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I see what you're saying.
So I mean, you could make a USB and plug, but it makes more sense that if you plan on supporting it for some length of time, like they did, which, didn't work, but they did, that you would have something that would supply the power and the data in one plug.
That's a good point. Are we sad at all about this?
I think Microsoft shouldn't have stopped the production because people have been trying to get these for ages. Like, this is not a new problem. They were selling for like hundreds of dollars, even when the One X came out. When they stopped, I think they stopped giving them away for free or something, and then they all sold out everywhere in like an hour because people wanted to use their Kinect with their One X because they were going from the original Xbox One to the One X, and they couldn't get the adapter, and so of course everyone's going to eBay like $150, $200, and then Microsoft stops producing them. It's like, well, I mean, yeah, you want to kill it off, but shouldn't you at least try and fill that demand initially? Like, just have some, just make another run or something.
So flood the market, before you cut it off.
Not even necessarily flood it, but just even if it was a pre-order thing where they just say, okay, we're gonna take orders up until this date. If you want a Kinect adapter, we'll sell it to you for $30. But there's only pre-orders. We're only gonna make this many, but everybody who wants one can get one. You just have to wait a month or whatever, however long it takes to get them produced, and then send them all out, and then they're done. But instead of being like, yeah, by the way, if you want to use your Kinect with your One X, too bad.
Yeah, I mean, what is their play here? Like,
it's really just a way to, I mean, maybe it was, I don't know the process in manufacturing these kind of things, but I mean, I would assume that because it's already been designed and manufactured, that it would just be a matter of ordering more, like any other accessory. And I just don't see why they couldn't go the extra bit of effort and just, even if they wouldn't make any money from it, even if it was just a break even, it buys you a lot of goodwill in situations like that, versus when you do something like this, it just makes a whole bunch of people really angry.
And that's why, I mean, I'm sure the decision when they made it, they had to have these things in mind. So I'm wondering, why are they so aggressive about shutting it down? You know, I agree with you. It seems to me like believe me, absolutely no money went into like designing this stupid piece of hardware and or marketing it, because it comes in a plain white box, and like it was as cheap as could be. I mean, they were literally giving it away for free. So
well, or you could, if you needed one later, you
right, you could buy it later on. Right.
But $30 is fair price.
Oh, totally. And again, I guess my question is just, why be so? I keep wanting to say aggressive, but it's not even the case, because they didn't talk about Kinect for forever. They kind of want to just let it die and never talk about it again. And I'm just curious. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why.
Because
I think I have an answer to it.
Let's hear it.
Maybe they're trying to get away from like the bad stigma that came with the Kinect, like with the launch,
and just shed it all with the 1X.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I suppose, but you like you said, Randy, like you're alienating a whole bunch of people who actually do want it. There are Kinect experiences.
Yeah, and there's no need to make more Kinects or anything. Like, there's plenty of Kinects around, but it's just, the thing is, like, the people that have had a Kinect and use a Kinect for things like voice commands or playing, even, I mean, I feel like people use it more for voice commands than they do for anything else.
Yeah.
But like, clearly if people are paying hundreds of dollars for these adapters, clearly there are a number of people that still do use their Kinect on a regular basis and want to use your Kinect on a regular basis. So why not, even if you have to charge them $50 for the adapter, you pay in advance, you get it in a month or 2 months or whatever, however long the production cycle is, and just as a, just on a pre-order basis. They don't have to worry about any inventory. It's just pre-sales, and then everybody who bought one gets one, and then that's it.
Yeah, I'll be honest.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
The biggest loss for me is, well, it's not, because I still have Kinect, but the idea of loss for me is the voice commands. I use them constantly, and I find them super useful, especially when, like, the longer and longer my games list gets, and I can just say, hey, Xbox, go to this game. I find that super fantastically useful. And if they don't want...
Well, you can do it with a microphone now, but that assumes you have a microphone plugged in all the time, exactly. Which you probably don't.
And that's why...
And then they're saying the same thing too, like, oh, well, you can use a webcam for streaming. It's like, well, or I could just plug in my Kinect, and it could be both of those things all the time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that they are implementing alternatives to these things, but it would be nice that if you could use your hardware you bought not that long ago with your new Xbox. Because really, I mean, how long was it before the Slim came out? Less than 3 years?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess they still had the adapters then, but
yeah, that's when the adapters came out. Yeah. Was because they removed that dedicated port. Yeah. So. But well, so all right.
I mean, we'll never really know. We can only speculate because we're not at Microsoft. But this feels like a Pepsi Perfect situation. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, where Pepsi came out with Pepsi Perfect on the Back to the Future day, whatever that is, and there were like 1,000 of them. They sold out in 2 seconds, and then there were like 1 million people that wanted one. It was basically like a $20 bottle of Pepsi, which they were surely making loads of money on. And then they did another run of like 500, and they sold out in 2 seconds. And then in an interview with some place, they're just like, yes, we know there is a large demand for this, but we have no intention of producing any more. For no reason. Just, it's like a Nintendo move. Yeah. You want that? No, we don't like money.
Well, you had a chance to get it. Too bad.
Yeah. You can go to eBay and pay $300 if you want.
Well, yeah. RIP in peace, Kinect, 2012 or whatever to now.
2012 or whatever.
I can't remember what year it came out, but
I think it's a little later than that.
Was it later than that? I don't remember when it came out.
Yeah,
I don't know.
The original Kinect or the new Kinect?
Oh yeah, I guess the original Kinect would have had to been old. What, 2010 maybe?
Wait, yeah, something like that.
Let's see. I'm curious now.
I think 2013 was when Xbox One came out. Yeah, because that's when Killer Instinct came out. It was 2013.
Yeah, okay. So I guess it would have been at least 2 years before that, huh? 2010 or 2009. Whatever it was. Doesn't matter. Anyways.
Yep.
So that's it. Please don't spend. Well, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money, but I suggest that you don't spend $300 on this thing, especially if it seems to be a bit easier than to make your own or whatever. It's just not worth it. That seems a little crazy. But okay, moving on. Let's talk. So Freedom's not here, but he put some stuff in the notes, and he wanted to talk about, and I'm sure we'll get his opinion later on, but he wanted to talk about, he says, King of all Vaporware tops 2017, and links to
this is pretty funny.
Links to an article that says the Star Citizen has raised more money than all of 2017's game Kickstarters. You want to take this one, Randy?
Yeah, so Star Citizen, I think, has been talking about existing for like 6 years. I think it's raised more money than any game ever.
How much is it?
Can you let's look up the budget, because like this is going to be kind of an idea for this. So this is a game that has been in like
it
the
raised
early stage,
essentially $35 million in 2017.
Just 2017, or
in
since the
development
beginning?
multi-game project, Star Citizen raised $34.9 million in 2017.
In 2017, okay. So, and they're doing this in many ways, which is, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if at the end of this they're like, none of this ever existed. This was all made up. We just took all of your money and ran with it, because they're doing things like, I think there was some kind of playable state of it at one point, and I don't know what its initial. Can you look up its initial funding? Because it was huge. I want to say it was like 100 million or something. But like they've been continuing to fund this, and it's not. It doesn't ever seem to get anywhere. Like it's just like, oh, we just rewrote a new engine. Oh, we're gonna add like 8,000. Like they keep adding all these things, but like they never, anything doesn't get done because they keep adding all these things, and it's just too ambitious. But it's kind of like an Elite Dangerous type game. But it's huge. So they're doing things now. This year, I saw they were selling plots of land in advance.
That's nice.
Selling plots of land in a game that is infinite in size. Like this is as far as I know, it's a procedurally generated game, and you can pay real money to buy a plot of land for a game that does not yet exist.
It has raised over $175 million total. So.
Yeah. And then the other thing, they were like ships. You could buy like $1,000 ships.
What?
In advance. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were like $1,000+ ships.
There's,
crazy. Just, and like, why? I don't understand. Like, how could you possibly be okay? Like, I don't know. I don't have that much faith in any developer to be like, here's $1,000 microtransaction before the game even exists.
No, this is a game that I'm actually, and I remember being super intrigued and excited about it a few years ago, and then kind of completely forgetting it existed. Yeah, hopefully, and I don't know the state of the game now or anything like that, but $175 million, like that's more than the budget of GTA 5. Comfortably.
It's not more than the marketing budget.
No.
It's more than the development budget.
I believe more than the development budget, I think, of GTA 5. And, the biggest game of all time. Not of all time, but you know what I mean? In terms of budget and...
A very, very large AAA game.
And that's an established franchise.
That was finished.
Yeah. To be fair, Randy, you could buy apartments in GTA 5, can't you? Well, you can buy apartments,
but that's like $2
with money that you
versus
get. Yeah, that's fair.
$1,000, and the game, existed.
Is Star Citizen coming to Xbox and PS4?
I don't think so. I think it's PC game.
PC game.
I mean, it might eventually if it ever exists, but I don't think it'll ever exist.
You got to think though that if they're making this much money right now before the game comes out, you've got to think it's in their best interest to actually come out with the game. Then they're only going to make even more money.
Is it though? The people are. It's only in their best interest. This is like wasn't it DayZ, that game that people kept buying that was just a absolute disaster of a buggy mess that they never finished because people kept buying it. They already sold all the copies they were going to sell, so just like, why would we ever finish it? Who cares? People keep buying it. People keep complaining, but whatever. We already got your money. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they're paying themselves wages with that kind of money coming in. So I don't know. Maybe it's better to just be this impossible thing that will never exist, but live in the hopes and dreams of all of the 10 million backers that keep throwing money at it. I don't know. I can't. I don't follow it closely enough, I guess, to have a real proper educated opinion, other than just that I've been hearing about this game for like 8 years, and it's had so much funding and everything, and it just seems like they keep adding and adding and adding all these things and never going anywhere because they're just trying to do way too much all at once.
Well, they're not doing it all at once. It's been years and years and years. They're just doing it bit by bit, and they just need another $50 from you, Randy. So please contribute. Won't you think of the poor, starving Star Citizens?
And you better insure that ship too, because if somebody blows your $1,000 ship and didn't have insurance, well, it's gone.
Well,
I don't know if that's actually how it works, but that was how it was working at one point.
Like there's a microtransaction for ship insurance?
I think you can buy it with in-game money too, but I don't exactly know how it works, but something along the lines where like it is unlikely but possible that you could lose your $1,000 ship from somebody blowing you up.
So the question is, will Star Citizen come out in 2018? And
no.
Okay,
no
guys,
question.
Don't kill my segue. Jeez. Kotaku came out with an article about some predictions for 2018, and this is, I think, where we'll spend a good chunk of time here. And they just kind of, they just made some, how shall we say, some bold predictions. Did you you saw a few that I know that you liked, Randy, right?
Yeah, my favorite one was what was it? Someone will acquire Valve. I don't.
Just as Valve will be sold was one of the predictions.
Yeah, Valve will be sold. I mean, if that means Valve will go public, maybe. But even then, there's no reason at this point in its life for Valve to go public, other than if what's his name, Gaben, wants to just cash out. But he's already like a multi-billionaire, so I don't think he needs to. Yeah, like I think Valve probably has more money than any. I said this before the show, and then I was corrected to companies like Microsoft and Sony, but exclusive gaming companies like Activision or 2K that are huge giant publishers. But I think they would be like very small in comparison to a company like Valve that is pretty much the exclusive seller of PC games and takes a significant percentage of effectively almost all PC game sales.
Do you know who's going to buy Valve in 2018?
Valve?
Nope. Disney.
Who? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But
I don't think so.
They
they could.
It could be something. It seems like something
probably could.
They would do. With the way
we want our own games, our game selling service. Yeah. We're just gonna buy Valve.
Oh man, let's hope not.
But yeah, I thought that one was kind of funny because like I think it is much more likely that Valve would buy EA or 2K or something than vice versa, because Valve is a gigantic. The other thing with Valve too is they have like no expenses. They keep the servers on. So that's pretty. They've got
pretty
like
expensive.
Yeah, I know, but
no,
relatively,
I understand.
Relatively, no. And like the number of employees, they don't have like any customer support because they don't care. They don't like. I think I looked up sometime. Valve has like 300 employees or something.
Gabe comes in every other day and he checks the email and he responds to the one he wants to. That's okay. That's customer service for you.
He just says, go to the forums. Have the users fix it. That's how PC gaming works. You just get someone else to fix it. Oh, we don't need to fix that. Some community patch will come out.
So this list inspired us to come out because it's mostly snarky, sarcastic kind of a list. We've already talked about what we're looking forward to in 2018, but we wanted to do this sort of bold and crazy and fun sort of projections into the year. I don't think a lot of these are going to come true. We're just going to kind of go rattle them off here. I'm going to go first and pick the one that was related to Valve, which we were just talking about. And I'm going to say they are going to come out with a 3 game, and it's going to be Portal 3. It's going to be announced in 2018. Mark your calendars.
Portal 3 Loot Chest Edition.
No, Valve won't do that. I don't think Valve would do that.
You sure?
No, I don't think so.
Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike's different, though. It kind of lends itself to that sort of thing. I don't really know how you would...
Dota? I mean, I don't know if Dota has loot boxes, but I'm sure it's got plenty of microtransactions. Is that Valve, though, or is that someone else? I think it's Valve, right? Dota?
Yeah, Dota is Valve, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, yeah, but they wouldn't... There are certain games that just don't work well with that model. So they'll just sell it for $40 or whatever. Portal 3, I think so. So I'm going to say that's the most likely game for Valve to come out with, I think.
I'm going to disagree with you.
That's fine. That's fine. So go ahead. Tell us one of your predictions.
Oh, this is I'm calling this section Randy's 2018 Rain Cloud Roundup. It's because I like the name Rain Cloud Roundup. I think Crackdown 3 will be canceled.
Entirely. So vaporware from the start.
Absolute vaporware. Just as I suspected all along. My prediction will come true.
Oh, that's convenient that the prediction comes true in your prediction for the... man,
yes.
You are Nostradamus of gaming. It's crazy. I predict that everything I said before is the truth. I guess it's possible.
But, I mean, it's not looking so good for Crackdown 3 these days. When was the last time we heard something? How many months ago?
E3, right? Was the last thing we heard?
Did we even hear about it at E3?
Oh, no, maybe you're right. Yeah.
Because it was supposed to come out when the One X did, and that was a while ago. It's been quiet at least since then, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. Joe, what do you got for your first prediction?
I'm going to go with 8 re-releases from Capcom this year.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I like the specific number, too, not just some.
Do they have 8 games to re-release?
Of course they do.
There's a bunch of Onimushas.
Onimusha. Wow, I haven't heard that word in a long time.
What else?
You think start going to their backlog of like classic games and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean they're doing Street Fighter already, and there's like 17 versions of 3 different games on that. Sure, there's more.
Ghosts and Goblins is next.
I mean, there's all the old Monster Hunters. There's a couple of Resident Evils that they haven't done yet.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Fair point. Okay, we'll see. 8 is a steep number, but if ACA...
is it for Capcom?
Yeah, that's true. If Stupid Hamster Corporation can do it, why not Capcom, huh?
Hamster Corporation does 8 a week.
Yeah.
Mega Man?
Oh, that's true. There's a zillion Mega Mans they could do.
Yeah.
Although they didn't... Mega Man Legacy Collection just came out. Wasn't that not too long ago?
No,
yeah,
but
there's still a zillion more Mega Mans.
Yeah, they're doing the X Collection next year. Or this year, I should say now.
All right. I don't know if that counts as a prediction, but we can count that as number 1 of 8. And we'll see how far Capcom gets.
We'll have to revisit this at the end of the year.
Yes, we'll have to see. Again, these are... I just went for the...
Or, when Crackdown 3 is canceled next week, I'll just say I told you so.
I shot for the moon for my list, so the next thing is just personal, near and dear to me. Mass Effect Remastered. Full trilogy. On this, all on one engine on the new systems. That's what I want to see, and that's what I'm expecting. And if it doesn't happen, well, I will have some serious conversations with people. But that's what I am predicting because I want to wish it into reality. I know.
My number 2 is I predict that Volition will be demoted to a shovelware producer.
Oh no!
Because that's what happens when companies have declining success. They don't get shut down. They just get demoted to only making shovelware. So they get to make the movie games and the mobile games and all those fun.
Do you think there will be an Agents of Mayhem mobile game?
No, I think there will be like a Frozen free-for-all mobile game
developed by Volition.
Made by Volition. Yeah.
All right, that's fair. I like that.
That just happened to Sunny or Freestyle Games after Guitar Hero Live. They got demoted to shovelware producer. Or the other thing. I guess the other thing that could be is like, the support development company, like, with Ghostbusters, the game, they had Terminal Reality made the good base game, and then like some other company made the multiplayer. They'd be like that some other company.
Okay.
Just like the tacked on. They just make the tacked on stuff.
They could be the DLC company, or the multiplayer. Yeah. Okay, I could see that. I could see that happening.
Yep.
What do you got next, Joe?
The PUBG achievement list is going to be overloaded with annoyance.
Oh,
I could see it. I'm skeptical. I'm kind of afraid to play it because it's retroactive.
My like initial guess for that list was just there would be like 99 achievements and there would be one for each position that you finish in the game.
Oh man, that would actually be awesome. That would be really fun.
That would be kind of a fun list, though.
Yeah. It would be because it would be almost essentially impossible to cheese. So you would, actually, no.
You'd have to play. I mean, you can just like walk out and kill yourself.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you could kill yourself. But if they disabled that, like, somehow, like, 53rd position without suicide.
Without killing yourself.
Like, that would be interesting. I guess you could just wait in like a busy area and then
you could just like shoot in the air and run around in circles.
But even then, it would still be tricky. That's I actually really like the idea of that list. I
could get behind that list.
Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I was watching some friends play it the other day, and it'll be interesting to see how the achievement list will be because there's not a lot of variety in the game itself. Obviously, you're only playing the one mode, and you're all doing the same sort of thing. So I wonder how the list will end up being. It is, I guess they could really stretch it and make it obnoxious, but
seriously, player unknown, 10,017 kills or something.
Right. Or
could you imagine 10,000 kills in that game?
Yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah.
That'd be tough. Or, they could definitely go off the deep end. I guess we'll see.
Because I don't think there's going to be any cheesing in that game, period, because it takes 100 people to start a game.
Yeah.
That'd be a very large boosting session. Not very productive.
No. All right. We're on boost number, 72. Yeah, no way you'd have enough people to stick around for that long. So my next prediction, I'm going to say Minecraft 2 gets announced in 2018. It seems
You think that? Do you think Minecraft 2 would ever happen?
I don't really think so, but I'm being bold with my predictions and I'm just swinging for the fences. And I'm going to say this will be the year that it happens. I do think it will happen eventually. I think it's very unlikely to happen this year. But hey, why not? Let's just say. Wouldn't that be interesting?
All right.
That would change things.
And it's not on PlayStation.
No, it would be everywhere, just like Minecraft is. I feel like I don't think they would shut anybody out from Minecraft.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think so either.
They got to recuperate all that money that they paid for it.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. They might have done that already.
Yeah.
It's kind of a money printer. But I don't know. All right, my number 3, I think Gears of War 6, Forza 15,000, and Halo 6 will all be announced and or released this year.
I think Halo's the most likely. Gears definitely not. And I don't know about anything about Forza because I've never played any of them, and I don't know how frequently they come out. I do think Halo is the most likely, but even that is slim.
You think? I mean, people keep buying them.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying.
And it's the only IP that Microsoft has.
They will be coming out with more Halo for sure. I just don't know if Halo 6 is going to have to do a lot, I think. But
do you think any of us are going to play it?
I will. Just because I'm now on the quest for the Halo, as much of a Halo series completion.
Have you finished Halo 5?
No, I still have to do the single player on Legendary, and some miscellaneous stuff. So
you got to play that Chinese one of the Master Chief
Collection,
man.
Oh god, that one. If I ever get everything else done, I think I might tackle it, but that is a long
good luck
way off.
You're gonna have to buy a few Chinese Xbox ones and better get very good at lasso.
Oh yeah, that would be
because
really
there's no
tough.
Checkpoint sharing.
Yeah,
well, I mean there is, but no one's gonna have them.
Anyways, what do you got? What's next on your list, Joe?
I gotta go with VR on Xbox consoles, but only on the X.
Okay,
that seems likely.
Yeah, that seems pretty plausible to me. I'm very surprised we haven't heard anything about it yet. So it could be an E3 surprise and then coming out in the fall. I can definitely see that happening.
Crackdown 3 is actually a VR tower defense game.
And then it gets canceled.
Yeah, and then it gets canceled. We've redone the entire game.
Okay, so my next one, I think we each have one or two more. And again, I'm swinging for the fences at this point. I'm going to say Nintendo discontinues for 3DS. That's it. It's closing up shop. It doesn't want to cannibalize its own market anymore.
I could see it.
And the 3DS has had a good solid run. There's no doubt about that. It's old hardware now. It doesn't stand up to even the most primitive smartphone. And obviously the Switch is where everybody wants to go now. And it's selling hand over fist at this point. So I think it makes sense for Nintendo just to say any mobile development we want to do, we'll do on the phone, because that's what they've been doing. And throw away the 3DS.
And then they make a 3DS game add-on for the Switch.
Oh, like put it in the virtual store or whatever?
I guess that's more realistic. I was thinking like a dongle.
Oh, like an extra screen below the...
No, but like you could put your existing cartridges into your... you'd have like a USB thing.
Gotcha, okay.
You put your cartridges in it, and then you can play them on your Switch.
All right, I'd be cool with that. Actually, playing...
But having this forcing you to buy them again on the store seems much more likely.
Yeah, playing 3DS games on the Switch would actually work. Well, no, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well,
you just have a little like virtual like a Super Game Boy screen thing where you just had the two screens on the Switch screen.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have like black on either side, obviously, because it's a super mega widescreen compared to a normal kind of widescreen.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have the awesome 320 by 320 display that the 3DS has, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Anyways, what's next on your... You got one more, Randy, or you got two?
I've got two more.
Perfect.
I came up with another one when we were talking. So, number 4, Red Dead Redemption 2 Online will release before the entire campaign is released.
Oh! And
by that, I mean you will have Red Dead Redemption 2 Online with horse cards. Hey cards.
Is that your thing, or is this a joke on the internet?
I think somebody else came up with that.
That's funny. I like it
somewhere. But I mean, obviously that's what it's going to be. They're horse cards, and you get like West Gold or something. I don't know, whatever. Red Dead dollars.
Red Dead dollars.
So you can buy fancy horses that go fast, go vroom vroom, and you can shoot each other's horses. Pay insurance and jump them off the cliff into the lake, and you went too fast on your pink horse, and then it fell in the lake, and you got to pay insurance.
Pink horse. Oh man, I would love for them to call them horse. I know they're not going to, but they called them horse cards.
They called them shark cards. Why they could be horse cards?
Yeah, but they're not actual sharks, so like it's a little too on the nose.
No, but they're not horses either. Well,
they would be in Red Dead. They would actually be horses.
It's like there's no credit cards. They're horse cards. You just get like horse points. You trade for dollars.
Horse points.
Anyway, because of how microtransaction centric GTA is, I think the online mode in Red Dead will release either before the campaign entirely, or the campaign will be episode 1, and then you have to buy episode 2.
Interesting.
If you want the whole experience.
I don't see that happening.
Or maybe it comes in an update.
What if...
I don't know.
Nah,
I don't know. I think, either one of those situations, like either Red Dead Redemption 2 Online is like a free thing that anybody can download, and then the single player comes out, which seems unlikely because they know they're going to sell it to everybody, or you get a code when you pre-order the game or something, you can access it early. I don't know. That
actually would make a lot more sense if they split them like that. I don't know. I think I'd be okay with that. I would pay $60 just for Red Dead story mode, and then free to play Red Dead Online. I would be okay with that.
I would be more okay with that than kind of how. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But
I mean, yeah. Well, essentially,
they know though that they're not going to make more money by releasing it for free. They know everyone's going to buy it.
Yeah.
They know everybody's going to buy it, even if it's just to play online. And then they'll still pay more money on microtransactions. So
it'll be interesting to see.
Horse cards.
We talked a few months ago about Red Dead versus GTA, and obviously GTA is massively more successful. It'll be really interesting to see, even if they do ape GTA Online with Red Dead, like how.
You mean when they do
yeah,
Red Dead Online?
Like what kind of audience, like what kind of player base will GTA still have at that point? It'll be
probably a lot. I think the audiences for that kind of thing are pretty separate.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, not entirely, but like I think people are gonna like, you know, the Western lifestyle and the gangster lifestyle.
We will see. What do you got for us, Joe? You got one or two more?
I got one more.
All right, let's hear it.
Dead Island 2 reemerges this year.
Did Dead Island 2 never come out?
Nope.
You would be surprised to. You know.
Wasn't that announced in like 2013?
Yep.
Oh man, that's possible. Have we heard about it?
Hey, maybe Volition will get put on Dead Island 2 because deep shovelware.
I actually just looked it up. A different studio just retook it over recently.
Oh, it's not Deep Silver anymore?
No, it's Sumo Digital.
Oh, Sumo did. Yeah, they're kind of a shovelware company too. I mean, not totally, but they're just like a contractor developer. They just do whatever. Like people just hire them to like port stuff.
Interesting.
I
could definitely see Dead Island coming out this year. I could see that. I could also see it being garbage.
Does anybody even still play Dead Island? Like the first one was so mediocre. Like it was like good at first, and then it was just kind of like, eh.
Man, I feel like
then they released like 1,000 more of them.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with it is Dying Light is what that game should be.
The problem was that game had so much hype from that trailer that came out, and then it was just blah. Anyways, that's a good. I think that's a pretty good prediction. I think that's definitely a possibility. So, okay, my final prediction, and this is the wildest of all of my predictions. Microsoft is in need of some software developers, right? I say, and there is precedence for this, that they go ahead and they buy Sega. They just buy them right up.
Oh.
And that way they get a little bit of the Japanese market, and you get kind of I don't know if I'd say top developer, but maybe second tier developer with some,
and a developer that's kind of has a history of making generally like their games are pretty decent.
Yeah. And they have lots of IPs as well,
yep.
which would be a lot of future potential that you could put other companies on and stuff.
I could see that. That would be a good acquisition for Microsoft.
And don't forget,
I think
Dreamcast ran on Windows ME, I think, right? I think it was ME.
I think it was Windows 2000.
It might have been 2000, yeah.
Because I remember it said it on the front.
Yeah, exactly. And the Xbox kind of got its origins from that collaboration. So, it could come full circle. And of course, I don't actually think this would happen, but it might be a good idea.
Yeah.
Give us your final.
All right, this is another prediction involving Rockstar, and it will announce that it will only be making games with continuing interactions going forward.
So no single player stuff anymore.
So that means no single player stuff that is free of microtransactions. So that would mean in your single player GTA 6, you can buy shark cards. In your multiplayer GTA 6, you can buy shark cards. Not they're totally separate. It's like, it's not saying it's a shared balance, but like saying that there are things in the single player game that are obviously going to be cut or put behind a paywall or made excessively tedious so to encourage you to spend money. Because 2K recently announced that they're doing this. And Rockstar is owned by 2K. So I don't think this is too far fetched.
It is on the surface of it is obviously an upsetting and frustrating sort of idea. But if the single player campaigns received as much content updates as the multiplayer stuff does, I think that would be a fair trade-off. Meaning, obviously, we haven't gotten any DLC for the single player portions.
But is the content online really quality content most of the time?
Well, I mean, we've played the heists, which was...
But that's kind of like the one go. So it's like there was heists that was like the one big batch of good content. And then now, 2 years later, we just got one more heist. It's like 2 heists.
Well, they're also, but
like in between that, there wasn't really much. It's just like, here's another $20 million car you can buy. Here's a tank you can buy to grief people in matches and spend more money. Here's another house you can buy. Like I don't know. I feel like most of the content released for GTA Online is just more stuff to spend real money on.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I'm just saying it would be a bit of panic at first if they did it right. I think there's a way that they could do it that it wouldn't be terrible. Whether or not they would is another question, I guess.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's it. So nothing else for 2018 that you guys think is going to happen and be wild and crazy?
No, I think we'll just hear from Freem next week and see what his crazy predictions are.
Yes, he wanted to talk about this, and unfortunately he couldn't make it tonight. But yes, Freem, tell us all your wild predictions. But you only get 5 because we did 5, so you're gonna have to pare it down.
Hard cut off.
That's right. I'm cutting you off.
We will edit the other ones out if you go over.
We have the power. Okay. So let's see here. What else should we talk about? Let's talk about a little bit of feedback. Freem put up a TA post and asked if there was any questions for us. Now, we've got Lucky32468 who asked, what do we guys hope for Xbox in 2018? I think we've kind of covered that, but interestingly enough, somebody commented after him, JJ Aldana, and asked, what do you guys hope for in 2019? And that's kind of a fun question, I think. I think we're a little far out from it, obviously, but if you got your wish for next year, what would that be?
I don't know. Microtransactions go away.
Well,
no, I would.
Cuphead 2, Randy? Can I suggest?
Yeah. Cuphead 2.
All right, that's fair.
I'll go with that.
Man, I don't even know. 2019. It seems so far away.
Yeah, we're like 5 days into this year.
Yeah.
You don't want to see.
I mean, like, if this is like October, like that's an acceptable question, but.
That's just kind of funny to
it's
think
January.
about.
It's we're reaching for the stars.
Nothing that you don't see coming out this year that you would be cool with next year, Joe?
Crackdown.
Nice. Now we're coming full circle here.
Oh, how about this? How about Kingdom Hearts 3 or whatever it is that was announced at Xbox One launch and we've heard nothing about for 5 years?
What if they uncanceled?
Apparently it's not canceled.
Uncanceled Scalebound. Oh, did you guys hear the rumors? And they're unsubstantiated. There's no evidence or anything, but there were rumors that came around this week about a new Fable, a new... Oh, now I'm going to forget that.
Can we just let Fable die?
Perfect Dark,
thank you. And there was a third one. Yeah, see? Now you're a little interested. And there was a third franchise, too. Mechasol. That's it. Thank you very much for refreshing my memory.
Yeah, those now Fable I think needs to just. They tried to revive it twice. It didn't work. Just let it go.
I don't know. I do think Fable has a lot of potential.
I think it needs to take that Witcher route where they need to steep up the difficulty a little bit and kind of get those hardcore people into it
and turn it into a Zelda kind of game.
Yeah,
or Fable Dark Souls.
Because that was really the problem with Fable is it was so shallow. So much of the game, yeah, sure there was lots of interaction and neat things you could do, but the gameplay at its core was just, it was basically button mashing. There was nothing in that game that was hard at all. Ever. You just get a good weapon. That's it. Just walk through the whole game. At least Fable 2. Fable 3, I think, was a little tiny bit harder, but not really. Fable 3 was a bad game.
It was. It's weird. I have a soft spot in my heart for Fable, even though like I played Fable 1 and I remember enjoying it, but it was ages ago. I played Fable 2 and really, really liked it not so long ago, and I played Fable 3 and thought that was less than stellar.
I don't know what happened with Fable 3, because like I generally enjoyed the Fable 2 experience if it wasn't for like beat the game 3 times, get everything in the game, you know, find all the stupid gargoyles, find all the stupid keys, find all everything. Like that put me off it at the end, but like just playing through the story once was fine. I mean, it was short, but it was enjoyable for what it was.
So my question,
but Fable 3 wasn't. I don't know what was.
It came out like 2 years later, like very quick turnaround, and didn't
Fable 3 did.
It didn't add any sort of significant.
It looked worse than Fable 2 also. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
But like graphics wise, it looked worse.
It's too bad. It's too bad. I do think there is potential for Fable, and I do think that we're in the Fable hiatus right now. I don't think Microsoft is going to let it die forever. I think it's
I don't know.
It's been how long since Fable 3? Like it's been 6-7 years.
Yeah, but
now,
that's
right?
because it was so bad. Like Fable 3 was poor. Like I think it sold quite poorly.
Yeah.
And nobody played it. Nobody I knew played it. Like when it came out. And then like they just keep trying. Like then they did like the Fable Connect game and like the Fable everything, and like it's had so long since a good Fable that I think it would be very difficult to make Fable have a good comeback.
Well, then you must.
It's had so much negative, and so for so long since there was a positive. Because even the Fable 1 remake was very poorly received because it was a mess. Like it was super buggy and didn't work properly and had all these problems and stuff. Because that was one people got really excited for. Because it's like, oh, Fable 1, that was like a big deal. One. Yeah, that was the good one. And then they blew it.
Maybe what it needs is like that like series reboot, kind of like they did with like Tomb Raider, where they just knock off the number and they just like start over again.
Yeah, I would love that.
And
yeah, give it to somebody who will take it seriously, who will drop the Molly newness out of it, and you know take and really go at it and with a fresh new attitude. I think that would be. I think there is potential for a game that people would really enjoy. So Randy, you must feel the same way then about the next game on that list.
No, I don't. I'm excited because Perfect Dark Zero could have been a good game.
It could have been. I suppose you could say that about any game. I mean, technically, yes.
Now, Perfect Dark Zero, if it wasn't for the impossible difficulty, would have been a just fine game.
I disagree.
Because people played the multiplayer a lot.
They shouldn't have.
Back in the day.
And they only did because it
was a fun game.
That is not a fun game.
It's a fun game.
Perfect Dark, the original, was a fun game. Perfect Dark Zero is a slow, awkward, cumbersome mess. And I don't think there's anything redeeming about Perfect Dark Zero. Now, if these rumors are true and they're actually working on a new Perfect Dark, which I would love, I think that would be fantastic. I would be very excited about a new Perfect Dark, even as much as Zero ruined sullied the sort of name for me. But I would love it if they just same sort of things like you just mentioned, Joe. Give it that Tomb Raider overhaul. Give it to somebody who is going to take it and strip it down to its roots and really give us a fantastic gameplay experience. That's what I want. So, yes, please. I think that would be fantastic. What about MechAssault? Does anybody care about MechAssault? We had Titanfall.
I didn't play MechAssault, but I know MechAssault had a very, very passionate following, and like there were people like my friends that in like elementary school and high school were Xbox people still talk about MechAssault and how much they love MechAssault. So
when I made my most recent trip to New York, it was a little bit after E3 and they announced like the original Xbox backwards compatibility. I actually picked up both of them at Video Games New York when I went. So I just recently bought those.
Did you play them back in the day?
No, I didn't have Xbox Live on the original Xbox.
So I remember buying the Xbox Live starter pack. Man, what I wouldn't do to have that box still. And it came with the headset and Mech Assault and the card that had your Xbox Live account on it. And I remember, because I bought it initially for Halo 2 before it was coming out. So obviously this came with Mech Assault, and I'm like, okay, I'll try it out. And I remember thinking, okay, it feels like it's just a kind of a mech shooter, which was fine. Nothing really sparked with me at the time, but I'll be fair and say I didn't really give it that much attention. I don't know how much potential is there for Mech Assault, but I like if these rumors are true and these games are truly being worked on. I think those are all good IPs for Microsoft to go back to.
I agree.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Crimson Skies also on that list?
I only saw those 3, but it could have been a bigger list than I initially saw. Man, I know people love that game too. I never got into Crimson Skies either.
Yeah, because Microsoft has a lot of IP in its back catalog that people like. They just don't use it. Like, just everything from Rare.
Yeah.
Like, really. Like, there's a lot of stuff from Rare that, like, Conquer. Why have they not made another Conquer game? Even if it's terrible, they know it'll sell like crazy.
I mean, they put that pseudo sequel in Project Spark.
Oh yeah,
yes.
That's right.
It was free.
And it wasn't really anything. Like, it was kind of there, and like it was kind of a thing, but I don't know, it wasn't really that fantastic. It was good for Project Spark, but
yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, why is that why is that the most recent Conquer content?
It's not.
And,
we had Rare Replay after that, remember?
Yeah, but that's just a remake.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not
I
new.
know.
It's the same. I would like to see also, as weird as this sounds coming from me, is I think Cameo 2 actually had a lot of potential.
Oh boy.
And it was very, it wasn't ever really in development. It was just really a concept, but I like the concept, and I would like to see it carried out. Done properly. Done properly, Cameo could have been a just fine game. But it was, a game that was developed for Nintendo 64 and then GameCube and then Xbox and then Xbox 360, and
it shows.
That takes a toll.
Yeah, it does.
Just, because when you play it, you realize that it was designed to be played with one joystick.
Yeah, that's a rough game. That is a rough game.
It is. It's a terrible game. It's a terrible game. But yeah, the Cameo 2 tidbits on Rare Replay were quite intriguing.
Maybe. Who knows what we'll see.
I don't think it'll happen, but I don't know.
We don't know. All right, guys. Well, let's move towards the end of the show here and talk about what we're going to do this week. Joe, are you planning on playing a whole bunch more ACA games?
Most likely.
Get them done.
I know.
Are you hoping that they get all of those games onto Windows 10?
Well, I mean, from the looks of it, I mean, they did that like initial batch, kind of like they did. I mean, when they did it on the Xbox One, it was like 2 per week or whatever until they kind of built up a little catalog, and then it's 1 a week. And they did the initial 10, and then Neo Turf Masters came out. So I think it's going to be 1 a week on a different day. I think it's Saturday they come out on Windows 10, and on Thursday they come out on the Xbox One store. Man,
it's going to be ACA games all the way down for the next 5 years, huh?
I think there's 147 of them.
Oh, man.
Something like that.
I think there's only 50 something out.
There are a few that I think have like IP conflicts, like that were licensed games, but not many.
So potentially we're going to have like 275 if it comes on, if they all come out on both.
Oh man. I just think, like, how much Gamerscore, like, that's almost 300,000 Gamerscore just in ACA games.
Oh, man. And, to be fair, you're not going to get much better return per dollar for point than that.
No.
But
at least you will run out very quickly.
Yeah. Well, hey, okay, are you going to do anything fun besides ACA games this week?
Well, not this week, but next week I'm looking forward to Ethan Carter.
Oh yeah. That's coming out, huh?
That's one that I've actually wanted to play and almost like impulse bought on the PlayStation several times, actually. But it's just like when it's on sale, I kind of always I don't turn on my PlayStation at all, so I kind of forget about its existence. So,
and that comes out this week, right?
I believe it's the 19th.
Oh yeah, next week you said. So very close though.
What is that game? I haven't heard of it.
The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. It's like one of those like walking sims, but it's apparently one of the better ones, like Edith Finch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I do like those story-driven games when they're good like that. Might check it out.
And what about you, Randy? You
I still have to play Edith Finch.
Yeah, I haven't played it either. Now that you're home, you got any fun plans? Well, I know you have at least some fun plans for...
I do. You know, tomorrow we're getting the crew together. We're going heisting, getting back in the pink car. We're revving it up, revving our engines, revving our pink smoke. Gonna go heist the city.
The new GTA heist, has come out. So
yes, we are. And I've discovered some new tips and tricks. Oh. So we'll see if they work.
We will see.
We'll see if they work. And then we have to get really good and do the whole thing without dying. 3 times.
Good luck to us.
Each version. Not just one version, 3 times per version.
Per version?
Yeah, you think those achievements are going to carry over to the Japanese version for free?
Wait, you said 3 versions.
Well,
3 times per version.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, sorry.
2, 3, and 4 player teams.
Hold on a second, because I think someone on my TA list just completed both of them at the same time. So,
oh, if they carry over, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because I was actually concerned because I was hoping that the achievements are not tied to the awards. Because if they're tied to the awards, that would probably mean you have to reset your character when you do the other version, which means you would have to make all the money you need again.
That would be rough.
On the other, well, not everybody, but at least one person would have to have the stuff that we all need. So that would be if they care. I mean, if we complete the heist, we can check. I mean, we can load up the other version and see if they pop. And yeah, we'll see. That would be fantastic if they do. And other than that, I'm going to play some Saints Row with Mighty Mango tonight. And then I'm finally going to start the campaign on GTA 5.
Oh, that's right. You haven't played it yet, huh?
I still haven't played it. I was going to do it after I finished Agents of Fun, but I didn't have any more gaming time. So
you're only 3 years too late for that.
Yeah. And then I'll do it again on 360. Because the nice thing with that is the achievements do carry over between the single player of the two.
They do?
I don't know. Maybe they will carry. Yeah. If you complete the single player, all of the single player achievements carry over.
Wait a minute.
All you have to do.
Hang on.
So if you go into GTA 5 on Xbox One, complete the entire game, then you go to the Japanese version, brand new version, never played the single player. Go into GTA Online and rob a store. All of the single player achievements will pop that you have in the other version.
Not the Japanese version though. Like, what about just the regular 360 and the one version?
360 and one version do not. Oh,
okay. It's
just between the 2.1 versions. So because you have the Japanese version, and we will be doing all the online stuff in the Japanese version. That means
I'll get all those.
If
ones?
You do the single player in the other version, or you can play the Japanese version and pop it all in the international version. Doesn't matter.
Is that like is it a rolling thing as well? Like if I unlock a bunch, if I like upload my character or whatever and unlock the ones I've done up to this point, and then I get 10 more.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's not a transfer. It's just a shared something. Right. Some kind of data is shared that triggers those achievements between versions because the online characters are the same.
Gotcha. Okay.
They're different. They're different worlds, but it's the same data. So it's kind of weird.
Can I interrupt you guys for a second?
Yeah.
The Japanese version syncs up for all that heist stuff. So.
It does. Okay, yes. That is fantastic. That's going to save us a lot of time. A lot of time.
Nice. Okay, cool. That's fantastic.
That is really good to know.
Other than GTA, anything else you got going on this week, Randy?
I think, seeing I play some Sports League. Maybe, probably not. I'm probably just going to play GTA. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I know.
I keep telling myself I'm going to play System Shock again. I really want to play System Shock, but I just don't ever do it because I have to like sit down on my computer and like get on my keyboard. It's too much effort.
Yeah, it is. I know at least that you're gonna run me through a level in Syndicate.
That's true. That will be fun.
I need it for random to-do lists.
Very much enjoy that game.
Yeah. So, and I'll be playing some stuff this week. The usual boosting Borderlands, Halo, that sort of stuff. And then, of course, G-Task starts this week, which we should mention as well. Actually, that's technically not true. The new show will come out. No, this show will come out the day G-Task launches. So, yes, G-Task does come out this week. So I'll try to get some points, I think, just to get a comfortable position in there. So, other than that, I think we're good here, folks. You're gonna be listening to some Freem coming up next with some community roundup, and then of course some reviews, Ed. And I think perhaps after that you'll may even hear some What the L. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw it right over to Freem and say, Freem, welcome to the show.
Good morning, good evening. Oh, wait a minute. That's not this part of the show. We're at the end of the show. Apparently, Proulx took care of that. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show so far. It's been a lot of fun. Hey, one thing that they didn't cover at the front of the show was my game of the week. So I wanna do that here. We are in week 8. I did open a Discord channel for being able to read the clues. I think I'm going to keep the answers to those in the show, though. But if you're interested, you can at least read what it is. You can see what the clue is written out. Maybe there's some context in there that would help you. If you want to find those are at Discord, discord.io/Z2Z. That's all one word. So week 8, so let's do week 7. If you're not sure what the mashup is, it's where you take 2 game names and link them together through a common word, like the Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune. So let's do week 7 here. This mashup is all about self-discovery, either a newly created avatar or a pimply teenager. The basis of this game is puzzle solving, but the mechanics are hella different. There is time bending and changing perspectives, 2 approaches to understand the nature of reality, and that sometimes you can't change the inevitable. I had a bunch of people send me a message on Discord, a private message on Discord with the answer, and that is Numa, Breath of Life is Strange. So Numa, Breath of Life, Life is Strange, link them together. So this week's week 8, here's the clue. This mashup takes our favorite dead peripheral and gives us a head-to-head experience against your most bitter enemy. You've got a compilation of activities to participate in, but it all boils down to flailing limbs and tracking your punches and kicks on jet skis and mountaintops. Most assuredly, will fail. So if you know the answer to that, send me a private message in Discord. You can to let me know what that is. This one's a little trickier, but I'm sure you guys will figure it out. So we have contests, right? So I have winners to announce. Yeah, I know, right? That's super exciting. I do want to start over at trueachievements.com though before we get into the winners, because it is a brand new contest starting up. Well, it's not brand new. It's been going on for years, but the Great True Achievement Score Challenge, the GTASC, is now underway. So I'm going to go ahead and track everybody on my friends list, but unless it's a team that I know is active in the Discord community, or somebody sends me a private message saying, hey, follow my team, I'm whoever, I probably won't make any announcements on the show, mostly just because there's going to be so many. With only teams of 2, having these pairs on here, I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to devote to the show for letting those people know, but certainly when people are eliminated and things, we'll cover that. But I do definitely want to track all of our Z2Z listeners who are participating in the Great True Achievement Score Challenge. So let me know who you are, what your team is, and I'll make sure I track them on my spreadsheet here. As far as the individuals go, that probably won't get deep until we get much closer to the end, but I want to know who you are. Especially if you aren't, you can't be as active on Discord as some of the other listeners, just to make sure that I don't overlook you as an avid listener who maybe just doesn't have the time to, waste at work playing Discord. It happens. I get it. Back to the Z community, though. We have our random to-do lists are up. Obviously, it's been about a week or so, and, January 1st, we started a new 4-month competition, and so hopefully you like your lists. Mine, I think I've got about 8 down so far, which, that's pretty good. I'm not too shabby. I want to do a quick recap of the last. I know we have the What the L segment that does a great job covering the overall winners. I do want to congratulate the 3 people who had full combos last month: Rocker Dude 5012, NBA Kirkland, and Kahuna 28. Great job on those milestones there. That is fantastic. As far as our winners, we had 84 people who unlocked at least one achievement in the month of December, 530 achievements overall, which is an uptick from what we normally do. And the winner of the random poll for the month is NBA Kirkland. He got the full combo and scores himself the monthly prize. As far as the overall prize, we're still kind of looking at what we want to do with that, especially in wake of what we talked about last show about curating lists and things along those lines. Whether or not we've mentioned your accolades on the show, so I think that's what we'll end up doing there. But anyway, congratulations. Thank you for participating. I hope you enjoy it. This is one of our most popular. It's super fun contests. I love it. As for community challenge, we had in December a Right Jolly Old Elf. So these are any games that had an elf in them, and if you unlocked any single achievement in that or had some previous completions, you were able to apply those here. Or not previous completions, that's the other contest. You were able to apply those here. We had 13 people post in our forums at forum.zzz.com. That's where you have to put your information down. We did have 242 entries, though. So, with that, the winner, he had a 10% chance of winning 24 entries. It's Saucy Slingo. Congratulations, Saucy. So he ends up taking down the month of December's. January's is called The Start of Something New. And man, there has been a lot of questions about what this counts for, and so I thought it would be a nice and easy contest to run. Turns out it's less so, but hopefully I've answered all your questions. If you still have questions, send them, put them up in the discourse, our forums, forum.zzz.com, so I can answer them for everybody. Does this game count? Does this work? Etc. We're dealing with games that start a series. So it would be, if you had the first in a franchise that was able to have achievements, and it's not like for instance, people were asking about Fallout 3, right? Well, no, Fallout 3 doesn't count because even though there are 3 achievement games, that wasn't the first one. Fallout 1 was the first one, and that's a PC-only game. Now, if they did a re-release, I was allowing those. So like Fable Anniversary is a re-release, and so that counts, even though it came out in the third entry of games with achievements. I know, it's convoluted. Didn't think that through. So there you have it. That's our January community challenge. Gamer tags for December, we had Miserly Pluto 459. The winner for that one, we had 22 people submit. They put their achievements into the forums, and our winner is Rune Lord. So Rune Lord takes that one. Nice work. And then in this month for January, well, it's Saucy Slingo. He just won the community challenge, and now he's got his gamer tag here. So Saucy Slingo is the winner there. We also have a completions challenge. So the 2017 completions challenge is over. There was 30 different themes that you needed to do to complete that list. We had 10 people overall who submitted their completions in there. McLovin Legend snuck in after the deadline, but all of his completions were done during the year. So of those 10, I thought, hey, you know what? Let's give a prize out for that. So I did a random chance of all 10 winners, and the prize winner for this contest is Chin Doctor. Nice work. He unlocked his in February, and I think he's almost already done now on the 2018 list. If you're curious about the 2018 list, you can find it forum.z2z.com. It's Freemhole's Completion Challenge for 2018. This, I've been told, and I'm looking at it, is a more difficult list to do, all 30. Good luck on that one. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. I'm kind of trying to feel it out as well. Yeah, it's tough. And so hopefully you can find 30 games that fulfill each individual challenge. And then this one also there's some questions going on in the Discord chat as well, Discord and the forum chat. Finally, I want to thank all of our amazing patrons. We just completed the month of December, so everyone was billed for December. Thank you so much for anybody who donated, even just a tiny little bit of money. All of the breakdowns. We're at the point where we're giving away full games, guys. So if you have a chance at $3, you have a chance. You have one entry into the pool. With increased donations, you have a higher likelihood of winning. But again, it's just all you need is one chance. I want to thank everybody who donates. We couldn't do this show without you. So to all of our patrons out there, thank you so much. The winner of the December full game edition. Well, it's Elroy, OMJ. Congratulations, Elroy. We'll connect via PM or in Discord or whatever to hook you up with your prize, let you know what you want. I'm sure there's an ACA Neo Geo game out there that has got your name on it. But you may be interested in shooting a little higher. I'll leave that up to you. So congrats there, and thank you so much. If you want to help support the show and do that financially, that helps support all these contests, all the prizes we can give out. You head over to patreon.com/Z2Z. Really, that's just the best we can ask. And if you can't support us financially, we totally understand. There's a lot of things vying for your money, and so we totally understand. We just are glad you're listening. And a free way you can help out the show is by spreading the word to your friends and social media and stuff like that. So again, thank you so much to all of our listeners out there. The one final thing I want to mention is Discord. That's the place where the community hangs out. It is discord.io/Z2Z, all one word, ZEDTOZED. We're still ongoing with our Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. This is on the 360 version. We chat on the Xbox One, but we play on the 360. This goes on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Central, free standard time. And we are planning on wrapping up this game in January and then moving to the Xbox One version after that. I don't know how long we'll be doing the One version. I'm considerably further ahead in that one than when I started the 360 version, but I just kind of been dabbling in both anyway. So, but that one has tracking. So in theory, it should go a little bit smoother. And so, yeah, we'll be moving on probably in February to the One version. So if you're interested in getting on that part of it, absolutely hook up with us on Thursday nights. Halo Master Chief is going on Tuesday nights. There's a channel in our Discord chat for that. And Battleborn is still going on Wednesdays. But that's not it. That's not all. Obviously, there's game deals. There's a PUBG channel now, Rocket League channel. Those are both hugely popular with our community. And, great ways to meet up with others and play. So, for sure, hit up there. Other than that, there's even just great community discussions and things about the podcast, about what's going on in the world, the life, all sorts of fun stuff like that. And we like to have fun. So, we goof around and joke and do all sorts of good stuff like that. So that's going to do it for my part of the show here. I want to thank everybody for listening. If you're interested in hooking up with me, finding a way to game with me, my name's Freemhole. That's you can find me on Twitter or everywhere, True Achievements, Xbox, everything, at Freemhole, FREAMWHOLE. So yeah, hook me up. We can do some gaming, whatnot. Anyway, I guess I'll kick it over to the rest of the show here, unless this is it. I don't know where I fell. But we'll hear it on playback. So other than that, guys, I'm going to take off. We'll catch you later, and have an awesome week, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Z to Z Podcast presents Review Zed.
All right, so back here for another installment. And GZ, actually, we're probably recording and we'll be in the podcast more linearly than it's been over the last month. I hear people were concerned what happened to us.
Yeah, I heard that as well. We unfortunately had an accident.
Work, vacation, living in the northeast.
Yeah.
Which is north something.
Where it's been really friggin' cold.
You know, today was above, I think it hit 32 here. I was like, oh man, I'm going to crack out a t-shirt.
Oh yeah, tomorrow I'm definitely rolling out in a short sleeve shirt.
You know what? Now I know what it's like to be Canadian. Hey.
Now we know what it's all about.
Yeah, and not that Randy Canadian. British Columbia doesn't count. We're talking. We're talking. Where are the guys from? Ones that were on SCTV. Rick Moranis and the other one. They did the two guys. They had their Strange Brew. What was the name of their?
Oh, I don't know.
So
sorry.
All right. So this week, well, actually, wait. You know what? I want to take a second before, because it's been a while, and by the time people are listening to this, G-Task will have kicked off. So, and you know, I got you here, Warren. You've been. How many years now has it been? The G-Task been going?
This is year 8.
8. God, do you remember back 8 years ago?
I do, and I'm actually really psyched considering one of the team ups we've got. The winner of year 1, Smirnov, his teammate TJ Ayers isn't back, but he's got redemption denied with him. So this is going to be one beast of a team.
Yeah, well, wait. You know, actually, it would be interesting to go back, because I know you probably have it in the logs. How many of the original top 10 teams? Because I think my team got knocked out number 10. You and Chicken made it up to what rank? You guys were.
Oh, I don't remember.
You were in top 10.
Let's see here.
You're 5th?
I think so. We made it to 8th.
Yeah, I remember. I wonder how many of the original top 10 teams, at least some of the people, are still competing.
There's a few. I saw Chad and Jesse joined up with Lido Cyrus to redo Team Sexy. So I mean, there's a few people that are reprising their original teams.
Yeah, we didn't reprise our original teams, but at least we're still a team. So,
but we're still there.
Got the hoodies.
Actually, now that I'm looking at it, looks like Team Sexy came in 3rd.
Oh yeah, no, they were up there. So that's the highest height. Is Dragon in it? Dragon was.
I think they were suggesting he did. I don't know if he joined or not. Let's see if I can click through it quickly enough to find out.
What are the other ones? Flying Mario. Who was Flying Mario paired with that year?
Lucas.
Man, that's a Wayback Machine. Speaking of Wayback Machines, that's a segue to what we're reviewing this week. So, the Disney Afternoon Collection, which is going even way back to my childhood. But for the record, so this is published and developed by Capcom Entertainment. This was released a little while ago, April 18th, 2017, for Xbox One. And actually, you know, this is going to be a little, I think part of what I wanted to do a little bit differently in this segment. But I wanted to be, you know, reviewing what we've been playing a little more recently. So even though we got this a while ago, you know, part of me was like, okay, I want to go back to playing this, but you know, let's kind of mix things up a little bit. But this isn't even the first 8-bit nostalgia rework we've done. We did that the 8-bit anthology collection.
8-bit anthology, yeah.
I think for me, these Capcom games hold a little place in my heart. because of that's just you on Skype. Because this was wasn't my first platformers for the 8-bit games, but the Capcom games. There was the Mega Man games, which I really liked. Like Capcom did something for me in those years. They just put together a bunch of the more solid platformers, and I liked the Disney games, and I loved DuckTales. I loved Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers. I was not as much of a fan of Tailspin, but all of those Capcom games, and for some reason I remember them being the ones too when I was younger, that I could beat. They weren't easy, but they were definitely easier than, say, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I still hate that game.
So were these the kind of games that you'd like leave your NES on when you had to go to school, or?
Yeah, I know. I don't remember having to do that. I just remember that you could beat them. Like you could go through, and the levels were easy enough that, not that the first run through you could go through and beat it on your first time, but that once you got it down, because I remember, so part of what these are just straight ports again of the 8-bit games from back in the NES days. But one of the things I liked about this in terms of the achievement stacks is it's less of a doing certain things within the levels, and it's more towards complete the game. So, for example, I guess the lowest ratio achievement is go through and play the Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, beat the game. But then you can go through and do Boss Rush, which is just the boss fights. So what this kind of reminded me of, though, was when you do some of the original boss fights, like the bosses actually, you can get through all of the bosses in under 10 minutes if you're doing Boss Rush mode. So that kind of sets that once you knew each boss's pattern, to get to the level and get through a boss would only take you 5 minutes maybe. So you could beat this game in 2 hours in a single run through easily, and that's not even saying that you need to have been, going for speed runs, but you could play the game start to finish in a 2 hour span. So, and then I think what's the time attack? Yeah, you complete boss rush. No, the boss rush in under an hour. That's easy. I think all of them I guess you only have to beat time attack. So yeah, DuckTales, complete time attack in under 2 hours. Complete time attack. So you could beat these games in under 2 hours. And even with time attack mode, it's not like you're having to go for perfection run-throughs. So that's kind of, as I said, why I liked these games as a youth, because as you got better at them, you could beat them in a day and get that sense of, oh yeah, I beat this, but not in that just unobtainable sense of the games that, some of the games were when you're 8. Because it's like watching my son now. Yeah, my son's good at playing video games, but there's still certain things, like he doesn't have the persistence to do some of those really just hard, insane platformers. Like the patience isn't there.
Well, your attention span is not quite the same when you're that young, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I liked about the Capcom games. I thought they were really well suited for that. And so coming back and playing these again, it was fun, and I like that they added something different. Like they do the boss run, they do the time attack mode. So there is that, playing through them again, 2 or 3 times, but it's not like you're just choring through the same thing and having to like do an advanced difficulty. You're like, you're doing the bosses, which also allows you to kind of perfect, some of the things, but you realize some of those bosses are still like towards the end. Oh yeah, they're a pain.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool to let you practice them that way when you go. So if you do the boss rushes first, you do the completions of like the levels, so you kind of get an idea of what you're doing. Once you've done both of those, getting your time attack shouldn't be difficult at all, because you've already practiced the entire game and you've practiced your bosses.
Yes.
So just crank out that time attack afterwards and you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, so there's, if you look at the ratios on the time attacks, those are definitely going to be the more time consuming, because again, you're beating through the time attack. You have to do it under, the certain time, but you also are getting, a few of the other run throughs going through it. And so you get the practice, but it's not doing sometimes the same thing. Cause that's the one thing I hate in some of the stacks, is when you have to go through the game and then you got to play through it all again in one run through and a certain difficulty, and you're not getting any other achievements. You're just like, Except instead of it's running through it for 2 hours, it's going to do a run through that's going to take you 10 hours.
Ooh, like Skylanders Nightmare Mode.
Yeah, I still have all of those to go. So, I mean, the Disney Afternoon Collection for $20, I mean, those titles, well, if you bought them back in the day, they would have been like $30, $40 a piece, and you got six. You got Chippendale's Rescue Rangers. What were they in order of release? You had Chippendale's Rescue Rangers 1. Or no, you had DuckTales, Chippendale, then you had Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, DuckTales 2, then Chippendale Rescue Rangers 2. So you actually have 6 games in here. So 6 games with, the regular run through, the time attack, that you got about 18 different quote-unquote plays that you're going to do to get all of your achievements at, $20 a pop. That's $1.25 per achievement. Not bad. Yeah,
that's pretty reasonable.
And I mean, it's going to take you, I guess I think the completion estimate 15 to 20 hours, which sounds about right for playing through them. So, it's and they're definitely solid games. If you enjoyed playing if you're a nostalgia freak, these are some great. This was that's part of me for the 80s, was not only these cartoons but the 8-bit, and it does make you also appreciate how better the graphics were for the Nintendo than the Atari 2600. When you start seeing some of this stuff, you're like, oh yeah, they definitely did decent. I mean, granted, it's not always.
It also helps you appreciate today's graphics a little more too.
Or controlling. That was the one thing. I mean, the controls for this aren't bad. I mean, they're ported really well, and I guess. Yeah, it's not like you're expecting them to improve. I always thought Capcom did a really good job, though, on the controls in general. They've always been fairly responsive. There wasn't a lot of massive amount of controller throwing based on, I pressed jump and didn't jump like that. But, yeah, there's something about the precision or just what you need to do in certain things where you realize, there's a lot more give. There's a lot more forgiveness in games nowadays than there used to be. But
with that in mind, from personal experience, when you start playing this, make sure you play with a not so great controller, because unlike the NES controllers from back in the day, Xbox 360 controllers don't take quite the same amount of punishment.
Oh yeah.
Because I really beat on my NES pads. They still work perfect.
So, I mean, yeah. So my favorite, I'm trying to think of what my favorite title. I probably'd have to go back to say DuckTales. What was yours? Do you have a favorite out of the 4?
I would probably have to say Tailspin, just because of the characters. I enjoyed that show much more, and I just love Baloo and those guys. So yeah, I would totally be just all about Tailspin.
You're Tailspin. I'm a DuckTales. It's always been my character, my go-to clan of the McDucks. But
really not Darkwing?
No, and actually, I just recently got a bunch of the Funko Pop. Obviously, I think you've seen them. But yeah, I have the DuckTales since they did the relaunch. But I have the Darkwing Ducks. I actually have a Megatron sticking over here from Christmas. I started watching it again. We have, I think, season 1 and maybe even season 2 on DVD. So I've been watching that with my son. And yeah, he likes it. So you watch back, you're like, yeah, but I just didn't like that show as much as DuckTales. I think DuckTales was just much, I don't know, just something about
fair enough.
I don't know. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't my thing.
He was like this. He was sneaking around trying to be a good guy, but he was like bad at being a good guy. It was awesome.
It was like the Inspector Gadget of.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, he would definitely the Inspector Gadget of the Disney universe.
So, I mean, again, it was weird that it crossed over and it had Launchpad in it, so it had some of that part of the Scrooge and all that. That's the only reason why I actually even got the Darkwing Duck Funko set, because I was all about got the DuckTales ones, but then you're like, wait, Launchpad is technically part of DuckTales, but he's now in the Darkwing Duck series of the Funko Pop. So then I ended up having to get Darkwing and Goslin, and then I got Megatron. So, yeah, the things I do for my affinity for the Disney Ducks. But yeah, I think overall I was happy with this buy. And again, this was not a review copy. I shelled out cash for this one, but I just wanted to say I think it's worth the shell out if you're going for that nostalgia piece. I love these games. They're good, fun platformers, good, solid. They did them well, and going back and playing them again, you know what? I still enjoy them. I think this was a good.
Yeah, $20, 6 games, can't go wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So I think that. Anything else you want to add?
Nah, that should cover it.
All right, cool. Well, until next week, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Peace.
What the L with the RTDL?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to What the L with the RTDL. I am Big L.
And I am Elroy.
Hi, Elroy. How are you today?
Oh, I'm doing well. We got a lot to get to this show. I hope we have time for it this week. We've been hitting around 20 minutes the last few shows, and
Stop your yapping and let's talk.
Let's
about
get
something.
to it. All right, what do you want to talk about?
Well, you know what's been on my mind.
That could go anywhere.
You're supposed to say sandwiches, but I believe we wanted to talk about something very pressing, and that's the pronunciation of Superboy's name.
Oh, yes, I do have an update. I have reached out to the boy or the buoy, depending on what I'm about to read to you. And so just to kind of set it up for you a second, I was on Xbox Live. That was about the only way I knew how to get in touch with him. So I sent him a message that says, "Hey there. First of all, I am a big fan," which is true. We're all big Super Buoy fans here. Second of all, a huge debate is raging on as to the pronunciation of your name. Would you kindly inform us whether buoy is pronounced buoy or is it pronounced like boy? Thanks, and keep up the great work. You are the real MVP of the Z to Z segment, What the L. All right. So that was sent at 9:28 a.m. And within, 10 hours, he wrote back. And he says, "Hello there. Personally, I pronounce it boy. So it said like Superboy. Never really thought I'd be getting asked about it when I made my tag years ago. Haha. Have a great day, whatever you're up to."
Wow.
There you go. So I guess it's Super Buoy.
That's not what you said, though. You said
Oh.
boy.
Ah, well. Potato.
All right, so we did not answer that. Very good. Our next topic is your favorite topic. Is that of a full combo.
Combo!
And that's our favorite British superstar, the Big Kahuna.
That's a tasty burger.
And he got his full combo in record time. What was it, like 6-7 days?
Yeah, it came across the Discord RTDL channel, of course. The RTDL bot was very proficient and announced it to the world. I didn't even know the RTDL bot announced full combos, but here we are, and it was done.
Wow.
So 7 days. How do you suppose one goes about averaging such a clip of, I don't know, four on their list a day for 6 to 7 days?
I don't know. I feel like he has a concoction of curating his list and... Wait. Is that allowed?
Wait.
What?
So what you're doing here is you're taking this full combo and you're throwing in a combo breaker.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Killer Instinct. That was a good game.
But yes, go ahead.
I
You
would
were
never
dissecting it.
I would never dissect Kahuna's full combo and disparage it or, say that he doesn't have a job or a life or Probably doesn't shower. I would never say any of these things about Kahuna. I hardly know the guy. So.
Yeah, well, he does live in England, so there is that.
All right, well, there's probably no dentists nearby. So, anyway, what else is going on? You've been a monster lately?
Oh man, let me tell you an RTDL sob story here. So, I had to take a long look in the mirror, and so the RTDL, it was kind of like the last bastion of. I was pretty far gone in my gaming, in which I just went straight for Gamerscore. And so, believe it or not, I don't know, a year and a half ago, I actually played for fun.
What?
I know. I used to play for fun once upon a time. And so, I've long told the story of how I got into Xbox, and because of Dead Rising, and it was my game, it was my jam, my favorite game. And so, I had a Dead Rising achievement appear on the RTDL. And it was one that I had to go through the entire game, get the full set of all the notebook entries. So I had to make sure I was in the right place, the right time for the entire game. And I already had a lot of them, granted, but there were several I was missing. I had about 8 that I had to find. And so the last achievement I had gotten on it was on the 27th of September in 2010. So I hadn't played this game in 8 years and some change. And so I was finally able to do it, but it took me a very long time to relearn the mechanics of the game, and also it took me a very long time to understand some of the limitations of the hardware, in which you could only get 8 survivors at a time, and if there's more than 8 on the board, then you couldn't get new missions, etc., etc. So, point being is that I became very frustrated with the game because all I wanted was this mysterious achievement, and so I did not actually enjoy playing it, and this was my favorite game, and so I liken it to somebody that's been like a psych ward, and so someone's trying to reach out to them and penetrate them. Well, that doesn't sound right, but you kind of get to them in the sense that they're too far gone, and so they bring something familiar into the room and show it to them and see if there's a reaction and see if they've gone too far. And so for me, I'm afraid that I must say that it's gone too far. I'm a monster now. I'm just an achievement hunter. I just can't play for fun anymore. It was a very sad moment for me where I was just so ready to be done with the game and this game that I once held up to such high standards and played for fun for so many hours. This is who I am now. Yeah.
Is that the original Dead Rising on the 360?
It is. Yeah. It was.
I think that was the game that brought a lot of people to the 360. I remember playing a demo of that game. It's one of my first 360 games, and just the amount of characters on the screen and the blood and the guts and the atmosphere and the music and the impossible to read font if you didn't have an HD TV yet.
Right on.
Everything about that game. Speaking of you becoming a monster, I believe Rocker Dude mentioned you were on the top of the annual leaderboards of 2017 in Gamerscore to some degree.
Yes. I was really surprised. I didn't know that. I think it was Tommy who brought it to the attention, but Rocker sent the link out in response. But they had the top 50 for 2017 Gamerscore wise, and I had a very good year. I had 198,000 or something like that for the year, and if it wasn't for the RTDL and I don't know, from September on, I think I would have been up a little higher up, but you know how the RTDL does to your pursuit of Gamerscore. It kind of, but that's all right. I enjoyed it immensely. So, so 49 out of 50, I'll take it. I'll take it.
That now, yeah, you were in the top 50, number 49 with 192,620. So,
wow, yeah, I feel sorry for the poor guy. I think I don't know what their name was, but they had 199,990, I believe it was.
Yes, that's forever.
Oh man, that's gotta suck.
He had a cup of coffee in the Discord chat and then left us. But anyway,
right on.
Are you going to be bringing your newfound achievement hunting ways to the GTASC competition?
Yeah, I've been sandbagging so far this year. I haven't. I don't know. On the little achievement board on the Xbox app, they have. I'm not even close to the top 10. I've been just kind of playing RTDL stuff and saving anything that will get me any kind of points until later. I've only got. Let's see. Well, I'm way down there, like 700 and something for the month. Yeah, 740 for the month on the 8th of a month is very unlike me. I usually try to average about 400 a day, so I'm very much behind. So I'm ready for this thing to start. I don't know much about it, but I just know that I'm supposed to save up all my points until it starts, and so freaking start already so I can get to start achievement hunting again. I don't know. So
we're recording on Monday, but the podcast comes out on Wednesday, and the G task starts on Wednesday. That's good. Do you have
fantastic.
a partner?
Oh yeah, the old Fufu, and we have a wonderful team. It is called Elroy Pities the Fufu.
Ah, a Mr. T A-Team reference. That's cute.
Yes, I know it's not no Proulx de Tango or Proulx de Mango or whatever it is, but you
killed it.
We work. Yeah, we make what we do what we can with it. So yeah, so I'm ready for that to start. What are you on a team as well?
Yes, of course. I'll be teaming up with Matriarch, and we are the Super Sandwiches. So we didn't have a clever name, but I like sandwiches, and she's super for putting up with me. So there you are.
And you should.
Oh, Elroy.
Yeah.
I see a note from the RTDL Commissioner's Office that we may have a controversy that's being looked into.
Yes. I was going to tell you, if you were going to go super sandwiches, you should have just joined up with Super Buoy, but, I digress.
Oh.
So, yes, we have we have something we're looking at. So, much like the RTDL just got started this year, the NFL playoffs are underway as well. And as Proulx might say, go sports! Move that thing to the other thing. But notably, just as soon as it starts, the RTDL landscape has been rocked by scandal. Who else could have wrought such havoc upon the contest other than the appropriately named Rocker Dude himself? With his 22 pops thus far this month, many eyes were focused squarely on him and his 1,247 Chivo-sized pool at the time of the draw. Since then, however, his pool size has inexplicably ballooned all the way to a somewhat respectable 2,000, an increase of 60%, which has prompted calls to investigate whether or not his pool was deflated during the draw and whether or not the PSI of his Chivos were altered to make his list easier to grip. We have Deflategate. A special counsel has been called to investigate Rocker Dude's involvement in his constant rule infractions. We hope to get a ruling before the 2019 RTDL season in which he faces a multi-game suspension for his involvement in Deflategate.
So was all of that just to make fun of how he increased his pool size after the draw to cover his tracks and attempts to not get lumped in with Spaceman?
Thanks, man.
Oh boy, role reversal. Kingsman, Crunchflake, Cowboy Killer, Miserly Pluto, and Saucy Shamgo, and the rest of the curators who barely had 1,000 in their pool, while also making a sports reference that the bulk of the audience will not understand since they are, well, Proulx, and people that don't even live in the United States.
Yep. Deflategate. Rocker Dude. Controversy. Yep.
Well, by the way, Proulx mentioned to me that he was not mentioned last week. Apparently he's not featured prominently enough on the show, so I hope he mentioned him, Proulx enough for his liking. So, Proulx, and say hi to Proulx for us. So is there an update for 2018 so far?
Yeah. Also, a special thanks to Proulx, Matriarch, and Freem, who all discussed the RTDL on the show last week. It was quite a discussion of the RTDL. You could have brought in some guest experts that might have been able to add to that conversation a little bit more. But No, they did a good job with that. But yes, let's get to the update.
Oh, and they mentioned the bot that we were remiss in mentioning. So
yes,
there's
I
a
think
bot
we
now.
yeah, it's a.
All right, go read your words.
Oh, okay, yeah. Here we go. Okay, all right. RTDL update. With the first real update of the year, the RTDL is off to a blistering start, only a quarter of the way in. With 365 pops already, the previous monthly high of about 550 looks in trouble. The usual RTDL powerhouses from the previous quarter are back into form, and the top 5 are the usual suspects. Kahuna shockingly sits at the top spot. Who knew that pulling off a full combo in the first week would secure such? Rocker Dude, embroiled in controversy, follows behind with a much lower max score. Possible even if he pulls off his own full combo, he'll still be in second. Wanda's husband, NBA Kirkland, Urban Spaceman,
I'm not saying it.
and Kingsman round out the top 5. Last quarter's third place winner, yours truly, and last quarter's winner, the bigger of the L's,
That's me.
follow closely behind in the 6 and 7 spot. Truly, the year has started with the same old. But despite the predictability of several old crusty RTDLers, some new faces are starting to emerge and have already or almost outperformed how they did, not just last month, but for the entire quarter. They are the new blood of the contest, and we welcome them and hope that their trajectory towards the top of the chart continues. Just not too far up. We 2 L's like our lofty spots and our trophies that Freem has surely sent out by now. But regardless, have you got yours yet?
Oh no, there's a trophy.
I think
That's
he's gonna send
PlayStation.
some
The achievement side.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. Regardless, these are the individuals with a minimum of 5 pops who have almost outperformed the previous quarter's performance already this year. Thus, they have almost done more in 7 days than they did in 4 months. It is RTDL Update, New Faces Edition. Honorable mention goes not to Proulx.
Not Proulx. Didn't he have an awesome joke about showing some improvement last show that was trampled upon and didn't get the laugh it deserved?
I do believe that is accurate.
Very imprudent of them.
Indeed.
Carry on.
Okay. But to Tropan, who has popped 8 compared to his total of 10 last quarter for 80% of it. Much like his Hydro Thunder Hurricane, never heard of that game, achievement from this month, it's a start. Number 5 is Weasel Pizza with 9 this month compared to his 11 from the whole last quarter. He has already fulfilled 82% of them. His accolades come from a variety of motivating chivos, including Victory from Rock Band 2, Bullseye from Runner 2, The Invincible from Samurai Showdown Sean, and Number 1 Contender from Zoo Tycoon.
Not Proulx Tycoon.
Number 4, Chin Doctor, with 8 already this month compared to 9 last quarter, clocking in at 89%. Chin has dabbled his toe in the waters so far this year, while talking tough and threatening to take over the competition, much like his Chivo from Wondershot called You Want a Piece of Me? I can only assume he has cooled his jet somewhat, given he and I are the same gamer, and he no doubt was a smart one, and after realizing how terrible the RTDL is for accomplishing one's insane Gamerscore goals, he has decided to keep the RTDL at arm's length.
Speaking of Chin Doctor, I wanted to apologize to him. I had promised I would mention on the podcast last week who the first person to pop an achievement in January was.
Who was it?
Wait, who was it? Oh, it was Chin Doctor. So,
oh wow!
Apologies for last week. You may go on.
All right. Number 3, Chosen Last, with 13 already this month, compared to 14 for the entire previous quarter at 93%. Much like his Chivo in NBA Jam, if you want to be a baller, all he has to do is just win, baby. Just win. He no doubt also gained motivation from his zombie driver Chivo of, I don't want it to end yet. Don't worry, man. You still got 3 more months after this one and get that last Chivo to match your previous total. Now, we have a tie for first. Oh, my.
Oh, boy.
Rookie of the Year honors go to both Wakapil and Dobin.
Wow.
Both have,
Those sound like names of Pokemon.
Both have already surpassed their previous quarter's totals. Wakapil has 10 already this month, compared to 5 for the whole previous quarter, an increase of 200%. Waka Key and Peel made like his Gears of War 2 Chivo of Around the World again, and did as many pops as he did last quarter, and then he did it again, doubling his total output and landing him at the top of our list with Dobin. Dobin has 6 already this month, compared to his amazing 0 last quarter. Yeah, I don't know if he was in the competition, but I believe that's increased by 6-fold. I'm not sure how that works with a 0 if you divide by it or multiply times it. I'm not sure how to do the math there, but it's still an increase, very significant. Dobin modeled his incredible Adventures of Van Helsing's Chivo of Novice Treasure Hunter, and has already found 6 this year despite being new to the competition. Unfortunately, somehow his list, which consisted of over 3,300 possible Chivos at the time of draw, landed him with not just 1 or 2 or 3, but 4 Chivos from Telltale's Back to the Future.
Oh, no.
Woo! Okay. Sorry. Anyhow, if that is not enough to run anyone off from the RTDL, then I don't know what will. Was nice knowing you, Dobin. I was going to make some joke about Doberman Pinscher, but maybe next time.
McFly. Go ahead. Finish up.
And that is your RTDL update, New Faces Edition.
Oh, that is really exciting to see all those new faces on the RTDL list. Wait, that's redundant. You know what the best thing about... That is really exciting to see all those new faces on the RTDL. You know what the best thing about it is?
No, what?
Do-do-do-do-do-do. Copyright that.